Welcome back to Keith Sucks at Dishonored 2, Chapter 6. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, and we wrote in our travelogue about all of the times. Surprise. Dust District. Brianna Ashworth and Delilah were infiltrating the minds of the Sisters of the Oracular Order, altering their visions and influencing their prophecies. I can't imagine what it would have become of the Empire if the Abbey had fallen completely into their hands. Thousands of believers being spoon-fed a new brand of religion under the same shiny overseer masks. Does Delilah dream of becoming, what, something akin to the Outsider? She's angry and twisted enough for that. I left Ashworth stripped of Delilah's magic, cut off from the energies of the void. I hope that sends a message all the way to Dunwall. I'm coming to stop you, Delilah. And it won't matter how powerful a witch you are. I also learned that Ashworth organized some kind of seance for Delilah 3 years ago. I'm getting close to understanding Delilah's immortality, and for that, I need to explore the abandoned manor of a certain mine baron, Aramis Stilton. Megan Foster. So I found out Megan Foster worked for Ashworth many years ago. I think Megan knows more than she's saying. What is she holding back? Sometimes she won't meet my eyes. Even when she smiles, she looks sad. But my gut says I need to trust her, at least for a little while longer. Can't sleep. I try not to think about my father too much, but I'm worried sick. I hope Corvo's going to be alright. I hope he can't feel the days and weeks passing, not knowing that I am alive and coming for him. 15 years ago, he was the one to rescue me. We spent our days hidden in the Hound Pit's pub, and I thought I would never see Dunwall Tower again. I remember I was almost happy about it, thinking we would live a life of adventures. I think it helped me deal with my mother's death, as if it wasn't real, as if it was another life. That really fits in with the idea. Like, I do think that playing Delilah is just the best choice in this game from a story perspective. Mechanically, I think they have different skills, so you can come to your own conclusion which character is probably the better one to play or which one you like more and stuff like that. But it just, after the events of the first game, it just makes more sense narratively for the protagonist of this game to be Delilah out of the two. I just said Delilah, didn't I? God damn it. But it doesn't make as much sense for it to be Corvo. It's weird for it to be Corvo. It's because it's repetitive. It's like you're repeating the same storyline again. It's like the most naked form of sequel at that point.
Listen to me, talking to myself like the old loon I am.
What was he talking about? Kinda missed it.
Megan is out in the city, but I'll explain.
I need to know why Delilah can't be killed. Everything we've learned implies that something strange happened at Aramis Stilton's home 3 years ago, but then he disappeared.
Stilton lived in a bunker kept secure by a fancy lock made by Jindosh. Maybe inside you'll learn more about how to stop Delilah.
But I have to get there first. Through a ruin created by the Duke, where my father grew up.
Megan had an intriguing idea. Howlo is leader of the Howlers. He wants Vice Overseer Byrne killed, and of course, Byrne wants Paolo dead too. Both groups will attack you on sight, but walk in with the corpse of their chief enemy, and they'll treat you like family.
You think they'll help me get into Aramis Stilton's home?
I'm pretty sure that will work.
Seeing this place and these people, I can feel my perspective changing. How will I be different after this? The Dust District. I've read about the winds coming through the cleft in Shindaray Peak, how the city uses it for windmills and mining operations. Paolo's not that old, but there's so much living written into the lines of his face. The Vice Overseer for Karnaca, Liam Byrne.
Brienne is gone.
With Ashworth eliminated, that should hamper Delilah's plans.
Still working our way towards that. That's the first one we've taken out that has a direct connection to Delilah rather than the leader of the area. Hello, picture of me. It'd be more impressive if it didn't look look exactly like the same artwork you see elsewhere related to this game. Because they use the same artwork for multiple reasons, so it's like, oh look, Sokolov's painting her, but it's like, no, that's the same artwork they've seen in other parts of the promotional stuff, and it's just it's the line work version before they add all the layers of paint over it. So it makes it lack originality a little bit in a weird way. Is that a mask? What is that? It's a strange looking contraption. I kind of thought we'd be collecting more crew members at some point, but so far, not so much. It's pretty much just the one, really. Look how big that is. I'm sure I've noticed that before. Who's cooking? Is anyone actually paying attention to that stuff? I feel like that's how you start a fire. They're about to start a fire. Shame on them. Oh, she's gone now.
My mind is finally clearing. Now I can return to my work here, helping those who need it the most. What can I say about what you've done for me? Saved me from madness and worse, from giving in to a life of sadistic brutality. How could I ever repay you for that? Given who you are and what you're in Karnaca to do, I can only say good luck. The city, the country, the empire, everyone is counting on you. I'll send something special for you, by way of courier. I hope it helps.
That was surprisingly brief. She was here for a couple chapters, basically. Well, got another vacant room. We've done the opposite of what I thought. We've lost one of our only crew members. So we're not exactly building a crew. Well, we did get him, so they kind of switched out.
What's that? Ready now?
Ready.
I'll get you as close as I can.
Chapter 6, The Dust District. You must travel through the Dust District to Aramis Stilton's manor, which contains more of Delilah's secrets. Vice Overseer Byrne and his religious followers are at war with Paolo, leader of the Howler Gang. Either Byrne or Paolo will aid you, for a favor.
Who was the man I'm after? Aramis Stilton?
An ally to the old Duke, loyal and smart. Stilton helped build modern Karnaca with those silver mines. Started as a miner and worked his way up until he was a prince of industry. But now the new Duke drives the mine crews night and day. Dust falls non-stop onto the district. What was once prosperous is now in ruins.
I suppose the Duke doesn't care, as long as he sips from silver cups.
And what are the cups at Dunwall Tower made from, Empress? In any case, you'll have to pass through the Dust District to reach Stilton's home. Maybe he's still in there, or maybe he's dead. Once you reach the Dust District, she'll tell you more. I'll wait here with this skiff and take you back to the dreadful whale after you finish.
I wonder if they knew the exact time of day to do this, because when we were... Well, it's closed. When we were going through those giant black pipes or whatever, they only cleared the top of this thing by like a couple of inches. It's like they must... And like that's... Where it's a coastal city, so the water level keeps changing over and over again throughout the day, or it should. So it makes me wonder if they knew the exact time of day they had to go through this tunnel to clear that pipe. Otherwise, they would have smashed into it and not been able to actually go here. I'm sure I'm just thinking into it too much, but the fact that that it is a coastal city and they left it so weirdly low in the level design makes me think about that. Of course, are those even touching the hooks? Yeah, they are. The Crone's Hand, Sir Cronos' finest. You're never alone in the hand of the crone. Meeting place and purveyors are strong food meeting place and purveyors of strong food and drink. Come one, come all, nothing else compares. Some of the five. It's an advertisement. It's a place where you can meet up and you can have drinks, and you can play games, and so on and so forth. Rats! Murder rats! Yep. There we go. There we go. So I think somebody said that killing the thing that was infested by blood flies was a form of raising chaos because it counts as a kill. I don't think I'm bothered by that though. I think they probably have to be taken out before they spread the infection to other people, because that's a serious problem. At that point, I would put them in the same rank as weepers, which I think you also probably want to take care of. It's a bad spot to be in. That's a real bad spot. Let's see, how am I doing on runes? I think I spent them all, didn't I? We'll save up for a little more on runes. I want to finally go and start putting more into whalebone, but I would like to get the ability to, yeah, have reduced chance of, I want to get 2 of them so I can get the reduced chance of corruption. Because with whalebones, you can, with whalebone charms, you can combine them into being the same charm, basically, so they require fewer slots, but there's a chance of corruption where they add a negative trait, and that makes the whole thing worse. And that's a bummer. So I'm trying not to have that happen. So I've been waiting to get the points to make it more efficient and effective, but of course I also was more interested in getting other traits along the way. That said, I'm not that... Despite the way that it can feel inefficient, I don't really care that much about bone charms, because the bone charms effects are relatively minor across the board. Like if I unequipped absolutely all of them, I don't know if I'd really notice that much what the difference is. A few bars would be slightly different lengths, and a few things would move slightly different speeds, and that's mostly it. It's actually a lot of the violent killing related ones are actually the ones that probably are the most noteworthy, I think, so far. With a couple of exceptions, I'm sure. So there's Megan Foster. There's one rune there. Let's try to get up against the dark spot. Oh yeah. Once I get against the dark spot, you can see just how cluttered the interface is there. So there's I can see one outsider shrine. It's one of the top symbols you can see on the right. I count 1, 2, 3. Is that 2 of them overlapping blurrily? It might be. I count at least 1, 2, 3, 4 bone charms and 3 runes, not counting the shrine itself, which I think is usually or always runes. Okay. That'll give me something to collect. That's a lot. They're very hard to see when you're looking towards them though, because so much of the game is white and those icons are white. And that feels slightly like it could have been planned differently. Woo! We're coming right up to the edge. Can I climb over them somewhere? Or do I have to go that way? That doesn't seem very reliable. Yeah, there's nothing down there for me to use either. I have to make my way this way, I think. Oh well. Sneaky, 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 far away. Don't look over here. Do-do-do-do. Alright. This place is nasty. It's all covered in sand. 72 meters, 54 meters. So nothing's super close by. I'd say that one's not too far off, but this is the really close one of the group, so that should be my next goal. And right now our only special objective is Megan Foster. Is there a... Huh. Is there anyone above me, by the way? But is there a, Megan Foster? No indications of a black market in this level, is there? Okay. Without a black market, we're not spending any money. So that's noteworthy. Yeah, we're still maxed out on that stuff.
I'm stuck out here. Tired of cleaning silver dust out of my
Sounds like someone's up here. Yep. So I'm not gonna get the rune up here, but
That's an assignment.
there may be something noteworthy nearby. Did not mean to jump out that. That was all wrong on my part.
Damn witch was in my sleep.
Not that hard to get away though, is it? I didn't see much worth using up there. Although if I do snatch them, then I have access to this roof and I can potentially jump somewhere. Oh,
From the mines.
there's two of them. There's something up there. Oh. It's getting spooky, blurry. I'm gonna get spotted, aren't I? No? Quietly now. So the effect of the storm's pretty strong, it looks like. Don't think anyone else is up here. Nope, that gives me roof access. Oh, I could have gone this way. Whoops. That would have been a little easier. That's creepy. Got some bullets for blood flies. They always show up sooner or later. Anything noteworthy? Just the newspaper, perhaps? Loot? No loot. Mine collapses, numerous casualties. A representative of the Miners' Family Committee reports that another silver mine has partially collapsed, leaving 8 miners injured and killing 12. The committee maintains that the Duke's unrealistic production goals were the true culprit, citing the overlong shifts that have been in practice since mine owner Aramis Stilton disappeared. The mines are now managed directly by the Grand Palace until such a time as Stilton returns, or until a new director can be found. However, the Grand Palace's official statement blamed the collapse of human error and threatened to arrest anyone found guilty of demoralizing the people of Karnaca. We, at the Karnaca Gazette, certainly support the effort to maintain Serkanus unity. Our thoughts go to the families of those injured or killed. And apple. Sorry, peach. Incorrect. Now you're something worth going after. I don't even know what you're hooked up to yet, but let's just undo that real quick. Whatever you're hooked up to, I don't want you doing it anymore. Let's put that. They might look for the guards up here, so I might as well move them real quick. So at least if they look up here, they'll be like, ah, like, why is this thing not working? And they come up there to check it out, and they just see that it's not working. But they won't freak out because of guards being around. I turned you off just now, right?
Told him he wouldn't last a day. Poor kid. Why do I always have to be right?
What was it hooked up to? It's going all the way down to... I can't tell. Oh, light bridge. There it is.
We'll just check what that was.
Okay, now they're reacting to the windmill. I don't think they're looking up here right now. They're just freaking. They be freaking. Alright, I think I have to go past the light door to continue. Is there a path over here? Not really seeing it. Just lots of fans and stuff, which is a weird detail. Oh. Gross. Don't see exits around here. Does he have anything on him?
Eeks. Gotta get a spare uniform.
Ah! Nope, we're leaving. Surprise encounter right there. Here we go. Escape is mine. I got through. Bullets. I already have the bullets. Your pairs are no longer yours, son of a bitch. Alright. Clear? I was ready to go into sneaky mode, super sneaky mode, but never came up. It's gotta be close now, right? Really close. Ooh, flammable. That often means... Yep. Or not, just one. Not what I was expecting. More flammable. I really wish I could add them to an inventory, so I'd have an inventory of flammable bottles to throw at people. That'd be nice. Doesn't even have to be used for blood flies, just throw them at people. My, if I get around to my lethal, Carno playthrough, that would be nice, to be able to just do that. Speaking of which, my schedule's pretty full, so my plan is to finish a bunch of the things I'm currently doing before I start more things. Like I want to do, as follow-up to this game, I want to do Angry Carno, and as follow-up to, how do you get in there? Probably up there, next roof. As follow-up to Last Guardian, I want to play Shadow of the Colossus and Ico. And in both cases, I think they're going to have to wait a little bit just for me to finish other games that I have going on in parallel, because right now we're playing like 12 games or something ridiculous like that. And once a few of them are finished off, then the follow-up happens. And right now, follow-up of finished playthroughs involves Murderous Corvo. Did I say Carno earlier? Murderous Corvo, Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, and then also the DLC missions for Deus Ex Mankind Divided. There's always so much backlog. Alright. Is that a drone? No, it's just like a speaker, isn't it? Oh, and you're Megan Reed, so I'm good here too. Megan Foster. Megan Reed is something completely different. Hi. How do I go underground?
Stilton's home is just beyond here. But getting inside will take some effort.
Oh, right. I have to talk to you.
I've been doing reconnaissance. Talking to people. The Overseers and the Howlers have divided up the district. Just ahead is neutral territory where no one will harass you. But further on, the Howlers and the Overseers both have boundaries set up. And beyond those points, they'll attack you on sight.
Aramis Stilton is the real goal. Sokolov said you had an idea.
Yes. I believe that if you take out Paolo or Vice Overseer Byrne, the other one will grant you safe passage and will help you get inside Stilton's home. Neutralize either one of them and bring him to the other.
What else do you know that might help me?
Byrne is protected by the Overseers. Paolo has the Howlers, but I think he's also got some kind of black magic charm. They say he's got to die twice before the sun sets, or he can't be killed. Good luck with that.
I need to find out how to go under. I need to find out how to go under. Ooh, more whalebone's fine. How do the same paintings get everywhere? Do they actually have printers around here? Like, I don't mean like a machine, but I mean like, are there printmakers that copy artwork everywhere? Because the same art shows up everywhere.
This is the Duke of Circonus. Been told that people are complaining about dust from the mines falling on the city. Yes, war is expensive. You may not be aware that our silver mines are operating past full capacity in order to fund our conflict against the Northern Isle. That's not dust. It's the blood of our enemies.
Nah, it's dust. That's not how things work. You can't just call it something else. It doesn't work that way. Get your metaphor out of here. I don't see a single soldier. Oh. There he is. That looks like a crime character, probably a Howler. They mentioned that the Howlers might be willing to strike a deal. So going down here must be the way to go. Neutral territory? That never happens. How do I get to that damn place? Okay, now it's getting frustrating. That's the same thing we've read before. The exterior windows are all barred. This is barred. Can't open this. Okay. If you're gonna be a dick about it. Let's see here. Must be missing like a door. Oh, there, maybe that. Oh, that's the door being barred closed. Oh, there we go. Boarded window. I'm like, what am I missing here, damn it? There has to be something. I don't see any traps. Hello. Mine. Miners Committee. This place is drowning in dust. It's just like inches of it at some point. Am I allowed to talk to you? You're just standing there. Are you someone I can talk to?
Sister says you can beat any lock in the city. I'm not sure why Stilton's house needs to be shut up tight like this. But what do you think? Can you crack it? Bronte knows how to get in here. Paolo had him feeding old Stilton or watching him. I was gonna pay him off for the secret, but Durante got beat down by the overseers and taken away.
I don't even understand what this is. I don't see any seams.
Jimmy's sister says it's a gimmick, like he weren't a real locksmith who made it.
No, this was built by Kieran Jindosh. Scary smart. He's the one who made the clockwork soldiers for the Duke.
So can you open it? Or maybe just solve it?
No, it can't do either. It's a lock designed by a man who creates machines that kill people. You can keep your money, I'm not touching it.
Never mind. Maybe another time.
Or not. Let's go.
Hi. You seem like...
The cigars tomorrow. Want to buy one?
I was gonna say that they seem like regular people to me. Yeah, those are just civilians. Okay. So they're trying to figure out how to open this place, and it's got a password to it. Finch, Marcola, Finch, Natsiu, Marcola, Winslow. Looks like there's 4 combinations? Looks like there's 4 sides for each. Metal, diamond, bird, powder box? At the dinner party, where were Lady Winslow, Dr. Marcola, Countess Conti, Madame Natso, and Baroness Finch. So 5 names. Winslow, Marcola, Conti, Natso, Finch. The women sat in a row. They all wore different colors, and Baroness Finch wore a jaunty red hat. Okay, so Finch wore a red hat. Countess Canty was on the far left, next to a guest wearing a green jacket. Okay. Conti's far left. These don't seem to indicate colors at all, but they could help us figure out which one's which. Finch is in red, but that's not useful right now. Is that a thing I can read? No? Okay. So the guest next to Conti, so second from the left, is wearing green. Finch is wearing red. Lady in blue sat left of someone in white. Okay. Blue is left of white. So it goes something green, and then it's either red, blue, white, or blue, white, red. Right? Left of someone right. Yeah, it's either right, blue. It's either red, blue, white, or blue, white, red. I remember that blue outfit because the woman spilled her rum all over it. The traveler from Dubokva was dressed entirely in purple. Wait, that's another color. Is that any of them? How many colors are here? Okay. When one of the dinner guests bragged about her diamond, the woman next to her said they were finer in Dubokva, where she lived. So Dubokva is wearing purple. Dubokva's on the far left because she doesn't have a color. She's the one person that doesn't have a color yet, right? So Conti is Dubokva, I think. When one of the dinner guests bragged about her diamond, the woman next to her said they're finer in Dubokva, where she lived. Let's come up with a standard thing. I'm gonna default these all to Finch. These are all gonna be powder boxes for now, just so I can keep them separate from each other. Obviously, it gets confusing if I find out which one's the powder box, but otherwise, it's not great. So you're a diamond, because we listed all the colors, and so she has to be purple as far as I can tell. And going by that assumption, the person next to her has the diamond, and Finch and powder boxes are still unknown. Okay, so she's from Dubokva, she's purple, and next to her is a diamond. So Dr. Marcola showed off a prized bird pendant, at which the lady from Bailton scoffed, saying it was no match for her snuff tin. So that's what we're calling it, snuff tin. Okay. So Dr. Marcola is not from Dubokva and not from Bailton. Right. Not from Dubokva, not from Bailton, but she has a bird pendant. Whoever the Bailton person is has a snuff tin. Someone else carried a valuable ring, and when she saw it, the visitor from Freyport next to her almost spilled her neighbor's whiskey, which is different from rum. Great. So somebody else has a ring, and next to her is the person from Freyport. That's not very useful yet. Lady Winslow raised her beer in toast. Oh my god, they have jacket colors or origins of country, names, one item of theirs, and they're all drinking different alcohol, possibly, because we have beer, whiskey, and rum now. So Winslow had a beer. The lady from Karnaca, full of wine, jumped onto the table, falling onto the guest in the center seat, spilling the poor woman's absinthe. That's great. Another type of alcohol. Then Madame Nassau captivated them all with a story about her wild youth in Dunwall. And the next morning, there were 4 heirlooms under the table: the diamond, the war medal, the snuff tin, and the ring. But who owned each? Goody.